Mark Vines and Gord Brossiker as the linesman. The Islanders send LaFontaine to center ice. He has Volek on the left and Flatley on the right. And immediately, Al Arbour makes a change. Brian Trottier comes out to take LaFontaine's spot. Puck cleared around the boards in the Islanders zone. Ricky moves it up to Volek. Volek pushing with Erickson, and now Trottier feeds the puck into center ice. Doug Crossman moves it to Patrick Flatley. Flatley shoots one just wide of Van Beesbrook. Volek was there, couldn't get the rebound. Ricky does, and he scores! Ricky's shot is deflected, but off Flatley, I believe, and the Islanders, 25 seconds into the game, lead 1-0.
The Islanders jump all over the Rangers early. Pat Flatley takes the shot. I believe David Volek. He may have deflected it. Here's Joe Ricci. Been playing better every game. It's a hard shot deflected in front. It could have been Flatley. It could have been David Volek. They were both there. The puck definitely deflected down after Joe Ricci fired it. You can see them raise their sticks. 1-0.
Puck dumped into the Rangers zone and just over the head of Bill McCreary, who tumbled to the ice, trying to dodge it. Played in for Don Maloney. He gets hooked up, taken down. There'll be a penalty against Greshner. The Islanders, with a 1-0 lead, will get the man advantage here at Madison Square Garden. You're watching New York Islanders hockey. Oh, excuse me, we're going to stay and take a look at the penalty.
Take a look. Islanders back, keeping some pressure on. Maloney heads for the net. He's got the puck he's in pursuit of there, hooked up from behind by Greshner. Maloney down, still trying to get the puck to the front of the net. The Islanders go to the power play. Greshner for hooking. The Islanders power play. It's ranked fourth now, improving again. Take a look now at the players scratched for the Islanders. Tom Fitzgerald, Brad Lauer, Mark Bergevin, Thibodeau, all out of the lineup for the Islanders. And for the Rangers, Kissio, Chris Nyland, Shaw, Wilson, Corey Millen, Paul Sear, Norman Rochford, and Ulf Dolan. All scratched from all injuries, of course, for a lot of the players.
Dolan healthy, but they just feel that he hasn't been scoring lately, so he's out of the lineup. And now with Greshner off for hooking, the Islanders have Crossman and LaFontaine on the point. Up front, Brent Sutter, David Volek, and Patrick Flatley.
Rangers penalty killing, doing a fine job. They're ranked third in the league at 85.4%.
Islanders unable to move it into the Rangers zone, and Mark Hardy has dumped it down the ice.
The Islanders are over-anxious with the power play. Going back and taking their time and moving up. They're all trying to move up faster than the puck.
Now Crossman carries it over center, on into the Rangers zone, ran into some traffic, and it's cleared right back out again. Fitzpatrick comes out of the net, leaves it for David Volek. Round to LaFontaine. That has gone into forecheck, or Granato, excuse me, and now at center ice, it's Flatley picking it up. He's into the Rangers zone. Puts it back in the net. Here's LaFontaine, a wraparound. Van Beesbrook to save. Crossman shot is blocked at the defense. They had Van Beesbrook down, but couldn't get it by him. Crossman over on the left side. Moving into the slot is Flatley. The pass comes back to Brent Sutter. He shoots one. He scores! And again, Flatley, I believe, tips it out in front. The shot from the point gets by Van Beesbrook, and it's 2-0.
He was down on his knees. You could see his right leg, his right knee moving outwardly. The puck seemed to go between. It went off the inside of his right knee and deflected between his legs. Brent Sutter tees it up. There's the shot. It went off Flatley's skate, possibly. Van Beesbrook upset, obviously, and for good reason. The Islanders have taken a 2-0 lead. Brent Sutter's shot off the skate of Flatley between the legs of John Van Beesbrook. Look at the puck as it bounces and rolls and gets in behind the goaltender.
Back for the Rangers, Randy Mueller, and his pass went to Ogrodnik. And Ouellette comes in on goal. Fitzpatrick beats him, and there's a delayed penalty call coming. 12 minutes, 44 seconds remaining in the opening period. There'll be a slashing penalty handed out.
Thomas Sandstrom breaks up the middle at a breakaway, a partial breakaway. Beautiful relay here as Sandstrom picks up the puck and races between the Islander defensemen. Just as he goes to the backhand, he gets hooked or chopped from the side. Believe Nyland getting him. There's Sandstrom as he goes in, pulls the puck. Mark Fitzpatrick down, stabs at it, gets a piece of it. But Sandstrom, who led and leads the Rangers against the Islanders in shots on goal, He has 13 in the 2 games so far. Slashing penalty. It was Pryor who got him first and Nyland second, so Pryor is the one that gets the penalty for slashing.
2-0. Islanders leading, and right from the draw, Turcotte played it wide of the net. Don Maloney is able to clear it out, and that's Leach chasing it back for the Rangers. Leach feeds it up the middle of the ice. Otto goes to the left side for Millette. It's checked by Crossman, and the puck comes right back to Leach. Leach moving in along the left wing boards. Couldn't center it. Now it's played around behind the Islander net. Joe Ricci chasing it. Turcotte right on him. Granato picks off a loose puck. Put it out in front, and the shot from Millette is blocked. And LaFontaine is able to slam it down into the Ranger zone right to Van Beesbroek. Ryan Leach recovers. He and Patrick on the points. Pass to James Patrick. Tips it into the Islanders zone. Chasing it is Ricci. They collide on the boards. And the Islanders quick to play it around to the right side for Crossman. Crossman dumps it out of the zone. That's Randy Wood chasing it. Patrick trying to get back. Wood had it in his skates. Takes it back in the net and is checked there. Out comes Brian Leach. 53 seconds remaining in the Ranger power play as they move into the Islanders zone. The pass to Leach turns and shot it around Fitzpatrick right across the goal mouth. Leach battling for it again. Randy Wood gets it away from him and has cleared the zone.
Whether that puck hit the goalpost or went off the inside of the leg of Mark Fitzpatrick. Leach, what a move. He got it by him, but couldn't keep it in the net or couldn't put it in the net.
Now it's center ice. Rangers moving into the Islanders zone here on the left side. Thomas Sandstrom centered. That's one off the stick. Greshner chases it. Ron Greshner playing it to the open side. Horshova takes it off the boards. They get a screen set up in front. Horshova with a shot off the stick. That center blocked it. And Diddick fed it to Volek, and out to center it goes. And that will kill off the penalty time. Back to pick it up is Norton. Slaps it around the boards, down into the Rangers zone, and is recovered there by Moeller. Andy Moeller. Horshova. Shot went in wide. O'Reilly went back for it. Giving it to Mikko Makela. Makela, who has sat out the last 3 games, 5 of the last 10 games, comes over center into the Ranger zone with a drive. Van Beesbroek the save. Makela with the rebound to LaFontaine. He got knocked down in front. There's Sandstrom coming down the right side. Feeds it to Ogrodnik, and the play broken up. LaFontaine is onside. Wheels over the line on right wing. Pulled up. Passed it off to Maloney. And then LaFontaine's return pass was errant, and the Rangers come to center ice. Over the line on left wing is John Ogrodnik. Coming up here on the left side, decided to dump it back in the net. Ricci got it to the line where Patrick held it in. Then it's knocked away and back into center ice. Patrick waited for his teammates to get back onside. Janssens is across the line, handling the puck here with a shot that hit LaFontaine. And the zone cleared by Randy Wood. Patrick drops back with 9.5 minutes to go in the opening period. The pass to Erickson. Now to Ruff on the left side. Lindy Ruff gets chased into the boards. Long shot from the point, deflected right to Fitzpatrick. Picked up by Crossman. Hardy and Leach together on defense as the Islanders come up 2-on-2. DeMaio across the line with Lakota. DeMaio's shot turned aside by Van Beesbroek. Chasing it to the corner, recovering there is Troy Millette. Millette in a collision with DeMaio. Hardy moves it into center. Millette lost it. Picked it up again and forces the Islanders back. This is Diddick. Islanders up 2-0 at Madison Square Garden as Gary Nyland dances down the left wing boards. The pass to Nick Lakota. Shoots one up high on Van Beesbroek. Chasing it to the corner and clearing it for the Rangers is Rudy Pochek. Ryan Mullen comes down the left side. Shoots. Take the shot from the Islander blue line. Now trying to close in. Shot was knocked away. Rangers recover, however. And Granato, or at least Turcotte, I should say, put it in front. You see Fitzpatrick down blocking it. The Rangers a little frustrated here. They had the Islander defense backing in, but couldn't get it by Mark Fitzpatrick. Islanders leading 2-0 as we pause now for this regional break.
suppose we can breathe a little easier. We got Kochek off the ice and Lakota. They were on the ice at the same time together, and not too many sparks.
Interesting that the Rangers would dress Rudy Kochek tonight. It's only his 4th game of the season. Also interesting is the fact that all 4 now have been against Patrick Division teams. Islanders putting the puck in the Ranger zone. Pryor started in. Now Chris King works it out into the center ice area. Miller dumps it down into the Islanders zone. Backboard is Jeff Norton. Trying to get it to Alan Kerr. It was broken up. Turcotte centered. Loose puck. Granato got a poke at it. Then gets turned around. And it bounces out into the center ice area. Muller back. Being hounded by Chisowski, who took the puck away. Gave it to Brian Trottier. He's upended at center ice, and there will be a penalty against the New York Rangers.
Brian Trottier off the bench grabs the loose puck and tries to beat Chris King. King gets the stick out. There's Trottier. Goes inside. It's the left leg of Chris King that upends Brian Trottier. So the Islanders, with a 2-0 lead and having a power play goal in their possession, one of the two, get another opportunity.
With the man advantage, David Bollig comes to the right side. Flatley lined up on the left with Trottier in the middle, and the puck is cleared out of the Ranger zone. Crossman and LaFontaine together on the points. Fontaine taking it from Doug Crossman, then gave it right back. It's Erickson in forechecking for the Rangers. Crossman sends LaFontaine down the left side, trying to work his way in on James Patrick. Pulled up, played it to the corner for Trottier. Now back to the net to Flatley. To Trottier. Trottier trying to feed the blue line. The puck was deflected out to center ice. Wallach after it. Erickson knocked it away from him. Gave it to Mark Janssens, and he just works it in around behind the Islander net. Got to get Patrick Flatley in front of the net again. 2 deflections. The Islanders up 2-0 on those Flatley goals. Fontaine over the line, puts it back of the goal. Trottier goes to the corner for it. David Wallach got knocked down, recovers his balance and the puck. Wallach out of the corner, feeds Crossman, back to Wallach. David Wallach in traffic, turned it over. And Turcotte comes to center ice, 2-on-1. Turcotte looks toward Granato. The pass blocked, now he puts it in front again, right to the goal mouth, and the Islanders start out. Flatley down right wing. He's over the Ranger line, pulls up, look toward Trottier, and the pass picked off by Granato up to Turcotte. He's got a breakaway. And he scores! Went to the backhand and gets the shorthanded goal.
His 4th goal against the Islanders in 2+ games. They had an opportunity a moment ago, but the goalpost got in the way. The Islanders very carelessly on a 3-on-2 break lose control of the puck, and here comes Turcotte directly up the middle. Tony Granato spotted him. He fakes the shot. He held the goaltender, Mark Fitzpatrick, just long enough to get to his backhand. There's the play as Granato steals the puck and feeds it ahead. He's onside. He'll hold the goaltender there with the puck. He's faking the shot and then goes to the backhand, puts it up into the top of the net. A pretty goal for Darren Turcotte. Look at the head fake. Beautiful move. It's 2-1, a shorthanded goal for Darren Turcotte.
Comes at the 13:37 mark. Now 30 seconds remaining in Chris King's tripping penalty.
That's his 12th goal of the season.
Sure brought the crowd to life at Madison Square Garden. So much of the period we were following the same script as the opening game of the season between the two teams, and then that shorthanded goal. And now the Rangers dump it down into the Islander territory with 8 seconds left in the penalty time against King.
Al Arbour has reluctantly played Pat LaFontaine on the point position, and I suppose that bears out why he doesn't particularly want to do that.
Well, LaFontaine gets a shot as Norton sent him up as he went back in the net. Teams are at 6 aside again.
Providing a lot of excitement for the Ranger fans. There's a lot of excitement in the seats as well as on the ice. Why is it always in this area? I don't know. They love you, Jigs. They all want to get close to you.
Yeah, that's right. Little less than 6 minutes to play in this opening period. Face off, as you see, in the circle to the right of John Van Beesbrook. Rangers controlling the puck following the draw. Orshava dumped it to center. It's knocked down there, and Randy Wood brings the Islanders over the line. Quick shot, Van Beesbrook, the glove save. Wood with DeMaio and Vakota, the forward line for the Islanders. Out shooting the Rangers 11-8.
A hard shot by Randy Wood. It was low. It was to the glove side. Van Beesbroek carries the catching glove, as most goaltenders do. Carries it low. There he is. You see him coming up to pick it off as Van Beesbroek takes away another one. John Van Beesbroek.
Now Alan Kerr comes to the right side. DeMaio on the draw. Ball start as somebody has stepped in too quickly. Dave Archibald goes for a skate. He's centering this line with Ogrodnik and Sandstrom. DeMaio waiting, wins the face-off, but it went off Ogrodnik and is brought out over the line by Horsova. His pass to Sandstrom. He turns, dumps it into the Islanders' zone. Archibald in after it, and Fitzpatrick has cleared it over the glass. Was it deflected? Or
No.
is it a penalty? No,
It's a penalty.
Right out of play.
Got to be frustrating for a coach also. It's never one particular player that makes the mistakes. The young Islanders there as Mark Fitzpatrick tries to clear it off the glass over to the left wing side. He puts it into the seats. A delay of the game penalty. A power play for the Rangers.
That's two delay of the game penalties in the opening period against the Islanders. The other time Nyland closed his hand on the puck. Now Fitzpatrick penalized at 14:43, and Gary Nyland got to the penalty box to serve that.
Suppose in the mind of the goaltender as well as the penalty killers, but because he shot the puck into the crowd, try and get 2 minutes killed off as best they can.
Lined up for this face-off, and then linesman Gord Brosiker went back to talk to referee Bill McCreary, drawing something to his attention.
Have you ever seen a referee change his mind on the note that the linesman said, "Gee, that hit something," and I didn't tell you that.
No, I don't think it's that. There may have been something said, something at the Islander bench that was drawing to the linesman's attention, and now he's going back talking to the other linesman and then inspecting
Equipment
skates,
perhaps? Hole in the ice, a stick.
Could it be that somebody's wearing a piece of equipment manufactured by someone who didn't pay the National Hockey League for that right to wear it?
It's Brian Leach, whatever it is, that the problem has been pointed out. Something to do with his skate, his ankle, the tape. Why would he not know about it? Why would he have to be told? Coach isn't putting up any protests. Oh, it's something to do with his laces, maybe. I don't know. I'll be. You were right, Jake. The name on the back of the skates, but I can read the name on the top of the skates. I don't know.
Isn't that something? Name has to be covered. The rule this season introduced. Manufacturers of equipment used by NHL players must pay the league, I believe it's $10,000. The puck got through to Fitzpatrick and is covered. So every brand name that you see on uniforms, helmets, that type of thing, has been suitably or whatever endorsed.
There's the shot. Blocked in front. Fitzpatrick says enough. We're going to make sure that it doesn't go any further. Yeah, I'd love to think that I had a pair of skates on that was worth covering up.
In your case, you'd pay the league $10,000 yourself, wouldn't you?
That's just for the attention.
Sure. Trache is able to clear the puck out of the Islanders' zone, and James Patrick will go back. Patrick and Leach on the points. Archibald working between Sandstrom and Ogrodnik up front for the Rangers. This is Dave Archibald playing it around the boards. Ogrodnik let it go to Thomas Sandstrom. He's the blue line. This is Leach back to Sandstrom. Leach right back to Sandstrom. They let the screen form, and then it peeled off. Sandstrom holds onto it, sets up Leach. Ryan Leach over to James Patrick. Shoots off Fitzpatrick's glove hand. Sandstrom left it for Ogrodnik. Down to Archibald. It's knocked away from him. Trache after it. Didn't get a stick on it. Now Crossman does. Plays it up the boards. Trache goes after the puck. Ryan Trache is able to clear it out, and at the center ice, it's controlled now by Leach. The pass to Patrick. Slipped away from him. The center moved up. Leach drops back. 55 seconds in this Ranger power play as they come over the line. Sandstrom holding the puck. Pass to Ogrodnik on left wing. He shoots Fitzpatrick to save, and he covers the rebound and holds on.
Nice to have the talent the Rangers have in the point positions. They also have it up front. There's a hard shot by John Ogrodnik. Archibald looking for the rebound. Riki wants him out of there. The whistle blows, stopping that play. James Patrick, he leads the Rangers in points on the power play. Has 3 goals and 11 assists. They put Leach on the right side now, Patrick on the left, but quite often you'll see them switch back and forth. They'll play either side, whichever they end up on, if the Rangers are rushing up the ice.
That big lead and shots that the Islanders had early on. You see the Rangers now leading 13-11 in that department.
40 seconds remaining in the power play.
Allo centered one across. The shot from the blue line skips wide as Greshner came in on the right side. And LaFontaine able to free it up and down the ice. Beesbrook will leave it for Greshner. 25 seconds remaining in the penalty against the Islanders. Another delay of the game call. Turcotte dumped it in. Fitzpatrick clears it out. Ron Maloney chasing the puck into the Ranger zone. Stepped in front of his old pal Ron Greshner, but back to help out was Horshava. Horshava to center ice. He's fed Turcotte on the left side. And Turcotte ran out of skating room, and Randy Wood moves the puck out towards center ice. Ron Maloney there, pulled it back for Kerr. Danes are at 6 aside again. Here's Kerr working it in over the line to Randy Wood. Wood circles the net. It's out in the backhand, fed it off to Flatley, and the pass broken up. Horshava cleared the zone. Islanders moving up again. Flatley over the blue line. Left it for Tinnick. His shot up high is grabbed and held by John Van Beesbrook. A delayed penalty call on the Islanders. Flatley appeared to get the stick up. Got it under Hardy's chin. Referee Billy McCreary is checking Hardy to see if he's cut. And Flatley, who had gone directly to the penalty box, skates back to determine whether or not it's a major. It is not. It's a minor penalty for high sticking.
Well, I'll tell you, for a half a second, it's an anxious moment. Here's the replay. Watch on the right side of your screen. He reaches in, tries to lift the arms of Mark Hardy, number 14. He gets it into the chin of Hardy. And if he had cut him, it was a 5-minute major penalty. 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the first period. High sticking to Pat Flatley.
And a look at Hardy back at the Ranger bench. Now the Islander bench. Al Arbor, and on your right is Morton Henning. Hardy is 30 years of age now. 9 years with the LA Kings. Flatley's high stick results in the penalty at 17-10. This will be the 4th power play the Rangers had the advantage of here in the first period.
Islanders have been getting better at their penalty killing, particularly in their own end of the ice. I still can't figure out why they don't try to kill more of a penalty in the offensive zone. Force the power play, in this case the Rangers, to make more moves in their own end, make them pass the puck more often.
Well, that's what they've done here, and Pollock just knocked it away. Comes in on Van Beesbrook and shot one wide. James Patrick picks it off the boards. Must be tuned in, 18. Here's Trache. Gets bumped by Greshner. Patrick, I should say, and it was dropped back to Leach. Leach into the center ice zone. Shot it around the boards. Patrick bringing it to the far corner, away from Pollock. It goes right back to James Patrick. And off the stick of Sandstrom to Ogrodnik. Riki knocked it away from him, got it to Pollock. Pollock can't clear it out. He had Trache breaking, trying to clear the zone at the perfect timing, and that didn't work. Rangers trying to get set up again. Patrick holding it at the right point. To Leach. And Leach goes a little to the left, plays it back to Patrick. Takes the shot, moves it in deeper to Sandstrom. Now to Ogrodnik. And Archibald in front of the net. He backs away. The shot blocked by Fitzpatrick. Laid it off the glass, comes out of the net, scoops it up, and then right into Joe Riki.
Interesting that they'd have Dave Volek out on a penalty killing unit this late in the period. Town trying to block a shot a moment ago. Riki, number 29, goes back to help the goaltender, Mark Fitzpatrick. there. Fitzpatrick picks up the puck. Boom, Ricky runs right into his goaltender, but with John Ogrodnik close enough, the referee says, well, we'll let you hang on to the puck.
1 minute, 38 seconds remaining in the first period. 43 seconds left in Flatley's high sticking penalty. At LaFontaine and Don Maloney up front. The young crowd here at Madison Square Garden on a Sunday night. Turcotte is going to take the draw for the Rangers. Millette and Granato change their position. Millette going to the right side, Granato to the left. Rangers got the puck back to Patrick. Turcotte one-hands it, but right to Don Maloney. Gerald Diddick comes over center ice and blasts one. Patrick picks it up. Patrick and Leach playing the points throughout the entire power play 18.
Yes, they played the whole 2 minutes of it. There was a time when the penalty killers did the same thing, but you don't see that so often anymore. They shift them off in places as you see now, where they get an opportunity, they send out the fresh forward.
Mayo was unable to slow up Leach, but Randy Wood takes him into the boards. Leach showing the strength. Wood as well, and it's Randy Wood knocking the puck loose. Got it to the line. Horsheva held it in, and here's Norton. He's back at 6 aside. The Islanders have killed off 4 Ranger power plays in the opening period. Randy Wood comes in on the left side. Gave it to Rod DeMaio for a shot. That hit a stick and goes out of play. 39 seconds remaining in the first period. Good job by Randy Wood on Brian Leach.
Yes, strength on strength. Both very strong players work their way at it. Randy Wood likes to spread out as best he can, particularly in killing the penalty. Sweater starting to show some of the marks, particularly on the arms. I used to comment about Brian Trotier's sweater so many times for so many years. All up and down his arms was all black from the tape. People hooking away at his arms. But Randy Wood, somewhat similar. He carries the puck well, both ends of the ice. He gets down low, uses his full extension with the stick and arms to try and keep the puck away from anyone trying to check him. So they end up getting the stick on the arms and start to wear them out.
Randy checking that mouthpiece. He went back to the bench to get it. Reacted as if it wasn't his.
I wanted to get one with a different flavor.
DeMaio on the face-off against Dave Archibald. Rodnick stepped out of position and will line up again. Kerr is on the right, Wood on the left for the New York Islanders. Rangers controlling the puck. Mulder played it to the left side, and Ron Greshner played it off of Rodnick's stick at center ice. Alan Kerr able to move it up in time for Wood. Takes a shot, blocked by Van Beesbrook, and the rebound went right to Greshner. 20 seconds remaining in the period as Greshner comes over center. On into the Islanders zone, look toward Ogrodnik, but the play was offside. 16 seconds all that's left in this first period. The Islanders have 2 at home this coming week. Philadelphia Flyers coming in on Tuesday night, and the Toronto Maple Leafs on Thursday night.
Alan Kerr, nobody wants more to get things rolling than he does. There's a time when players can work themselves into such a frazzle. In other words, they're trying so hard to do everything right that they overdo it, and they wonder why they're tired all the time. The mental part, the anxiety, physically going too far, running around, trying to do a lot more than you're supposed to do, and that's tiring in itself.
The name of the game is let the puck do the work.
Let the puck do the work, and, do what you're supposed to do. Don't do any more than you're supposed to do, but for heaven's sake, don't do any less.
Now the Islanders failed to clear it out. Greshner with a shot. You saw Fitzpatrick make the move. Blocks the shot, and a little frustration showing on the part of Thomas Sandstrom as he threw his stick forward. All set for the face-off. DeMaio on the draw, and it's won by Troy Millette of the Rangers. This is James Patrick on the right side. Gave it to Mark Hardy. Alan Kerr moves up to forecheck. Patrick moves it out of the Rangers' zone. David Volek tight on the left wing boards, knocked it loose, and it's cleared right back to Gerald Diddick. Diddick gets checked in the center ice zone, but the puck went to Nyland. Gary Nyland dumps one into the far corner. Hardy went for it. Van Beesbrook elected to cover it and make sure that things were safe.
7-3-1. He started all of the road games that the Rangers have played so far this season, John Van Beesbrook. 14 wins, 6 losses, and 6 ties. lifetime against the Islanders.
Darcy Regier, right side of your picture, just walking away from head coach Al Arbor. Another assistant coach working the bench as well, of course, Warren Henning. Rangers making some changes here. Sending out Lindy Ruff. Ruff playing tonight with Erickson and Janssens. Janssens in the middle, Erickson on the right side. The Islanders, Maloney, LaFontaine. Maloney went right to the net. Van Beesbrook makes the save. Good draw by LaFontaine, bringing Maloney. One goal shy of 200 in his NHL career.
He wasn't thinking about that then. He was thinking about regaining a 2-goal lead for the Islanders. Good face-off by Pat LaFontaine.
Get on! Keep going!
Norton's last one from the left point. Stick save by Van Beesbrook. He dumps it out into the center ice area. That's Erickson moving up. Jan Erickson plays it down into the Islanders zone. Norton moves it to the left side. The Islanders fail to clear it out, however. Ryan Leach plays it in deep. They had Ruff in front. The pass to him. Went right to him as he was bumped by Chris Pryor. This is Leach to Erickson. Dumped it in. Fitzpatrick leaves it. Now plays it away from Pryor up the left side. Out of the reach of Norton, however. Lindy Ruff bumped by Norton. Ruff gets away from the check. Puts it behind the net again. In comes Brian Leach. Norton had him lined up. Leach with a shot outside the goal and gloved there and held. And now some jostling. Janssens gets involved. Really, it hasn't had the spark that a lot of people had anticipated coming into this. I think so many on the edges of their seats thinking that there'd be war tonight between the Islanders and the Rangers. And hasn't really been that tempo.
Both teams want to be smart. They want to play smart hockey. They do not want to take the foolish penalties. Not trying to give the other team any kind of an edge unnecessarily. Mark Fitzpatrick taking the play away from Brian Leach a moment ago. The Islanders having problems that particular shift getting out of their own end of the ice. It's amazing how Chris Pryor stares at the opponent. He's got a weird stare when he looks at them. He never smiles much, does he? I see him around the dressing room and talk to him, and he's a light guy, but he doesn't smile a great deal. I guess you just expect to see players smile a little more. Behind the net, with the puck into the corner, you can see Leach in the bottom right corner. He anticipating as taking off. The puck came out from behind the net. That was Lindy Ruff that was checked as Mark Fitzpatrick swung his stick around and knocked it off Lindy Ruff.
Now Archibald in the face-off. Got it back to the point. Long shot by Moeller was steered aside. Picked up by Flatley. Patrick Flatley up the boards to Doug Crossman. Plays it to David Chizowski at center ice over the line with Trottier. Chizowski shot. Pad saved by Van Beesbrook. Chizowski centers again. It was cleared away by Archibald. Held in by Crossman. The Flatley that bounces off his skates and goes out to center ice. Crossman and Rieke together on defense. Joe Rieke got it up to Trottier off his skates to Greshner. Now to Moeller, to Sandstrom, and back into Ron Greshner. Greshner had missed the game, a couple of games, I guess, with a pinched nerve in his neck. He can only miss 4 more this season. If he misses any more than that, he won't hit the 1,000 game mark this season. Shot from Granato is blocked in front. Sandstrom, rather. It comes right back into the corner. Ogrodnik turning it to Sandstrom. Centered one in front. That's picked off. Rieke feeds it out to Trottier. Good pass right on the stick. Trottier over the blue line. Left it for Flatley. Now to Chizowski. Trying to get in around Moeller. Chizowski has knocked off the puck. Flatley centers it in front. Trottier was there but couldn't trap it. The Rangers cleared out to Sandstrom at center ice. On into the Islanders zone. Big shot turned aside by Fitzpatrick. Sandstrom battles for it on the boards. Got it away from Dinnick. Sandstrom checked momentarily by Nyland. Now a battle for it at the side of the net, and it's covered by Mark Fitzpatrick. Stick comes up. Some pawing and shoving after the whistle. You look at Pat LaFontaine moving in for the face-off here. Aaron Turcotte coming out to take the draw for the New York Rangers. Turcotte with Renato and King flanking him, and the shot right on
That's a good read by the center iceman, Darren Turcotte. He had the feeling that LaFontaine was going to pull it on his backhand into the corner, which is an assumption you would have to draw. He went with LaFontaine and shot it right away.
This time LaFontaine did pull it back, and Pryor moves it around to the left side for Norton. Up the boards to Maloney, to LaFontaine. Trying to get a step on Patrick as he cuts over the line. Went to center, one, it was blocked. LaFontaine can't get a stick on it a third time. Patrick works back to the net. Orshava going to the left wing boards. The pass behind Turcotte. Picked up by Norton. He gets checked at the Ranger line, and down the right side comes Tony Granato. Turcotte to the front of the net. Granato holds the puck. A backhander off the defenseman's skates. Recovered by Pryor. Ahead to LaFontaine. Pryor got thumped on the boards, and you heard the crowd react to that. This is Orshava. Played it off a teammate at center ice, hitting King, and bounced right back to Patrick. Over to Orshava. Patrick up the board. Barely missed the referee, and out at center ice, Chris King recovers. Steps into the Islanders' zone. Booming shot off the goal post. King, a low, hard shot, hit the post to the left of Fitzpatrick. The Rangers recover in their own territory. Islanders 2, Rangers 1. In across the line again. Millette left the puck. The shot turned aside by Fitzpatrick, and a penalty call coming. Ryan Mullen got the shot away. The Islanders will be shorthanded again. The puck centered in front and shot wide. It comes back to the right point. And now cleared away from Moeller, and the penalty call is for holding. The Rangers going to the power play, trailing the Islanders by a goal.
The Rangers catch the Islanders disorganized in their own end of the ice. Chris King, what a shot. I didn't realize that he had this good a shot. The puck in the center ice area. There's the pass to King. Watch the goalpost on your right side to the left of the goaltender. Boom, what a blast off the goalpost, off into the corner. Doug Crossman takes a penalty. Mullen with his shot. Good stop there. Delayed reaction, and you see the penalty Crossman takes for holding, and a power play again for the Rangers.
This is their 5th power play opportunity of the night. Get control of the puck in the Islanders' zone. Leach went in, knocked Trottier down, and there goes the penalty. The penalty against the Islanders being delayed here. Referee Bill McCreary making the Islanders 2 men short.
I was talking in the first period, Jiggs, about the fact the Islanders, not one taking all of the bad penalties, but so many of the Islanders taking bad penalties. So many different players. This time, Joe Ricci. The time it was a shot by the goaltender, Mark Fitzpatrick, up into the seats. A delay of the game penalty. Prior to that, it was another delay of the game. There's a heavy cross-check by Ricci on Brian Leach. And there he comes in, and from behind, there's no question, the referee has to call that. O'Godnik is flattened by Joe Ricci. The Islanders in a tough situation now. They're down 2 men. There's 1 minute and 45 seconds remaining on the first penalty to Crossman. Crossman, who has been killing almost all of the penalties for the Islanders defensively, along with Ricci. They're both in the penalty box.
Not only are the Islanders 2 men short, they've also lost Brent Sutter. The report from the Islander dressing room, he did not return with the team, and the report now is that he is suffering back spasms. So one of your top penalty killers not in the lineup now. The load falls to Brian Trottier and Patrick Flatley. They'll be up front. Diddick is the lone defenseman.
Different approach, particularly with the face-off in your own end of the ice.
They get the draw back to the line. Held in. Here's James Patrick. Shoots one. That hits somebody in front of the net. Bounces back to Brian Leach. Leach looked toward Patrick. He elected to shoot. It went wide. The rebound to Granato. Can't get it to Turcotte, and Flatley stepped in front of him. The Islanders play it to the line where Leach held it in. Over to Patrick. In a little deeper. Turcotte centering attempt. Hit Diddick. Turcotte frees it up. Here's Patrick. Into Turcotte. He couldn't handle the pass. Fitzpatrick started out. They center one off the side of the net. It comes back to Leach. Leach's shot hit Trottier's stick and is knocked out of the air by Diddick. Held in by Brian Leach. In along the boards. Granato couldn't get to it. Flatley bumping the left. They center it to Leach, and his shot went wide. It comes bouncing back to Patrick. 50 seconds left in the two-man advantage. Leach with a drive wide. The rebound blocked by Fitzpatrick as Turcotte had him dead to right. Turcotte comes out in front, shoots. Fitzpatrick makes the save, and the puck bounces to the line. Held in by Troy Millette. He feeds Turcotte, trying to find some room. Millette gets knocked down. Leach after the puck. Diddick took a whack at it and missed. Leach trying to move it out of the corner. Rache bothering Turcotte in front of the net as Leach fires one. That missed the net again. Turcotte frees it up, put it back in the goal. They center it in front. Leach with a shot. Glove saved by Fitzpatrick.
What a busy goaltender. What a job he's been doing and taking that shot, a one-timer away from Brian Leach as he moved in from his point position. The Islanders doing everything they can, but being two men short, there's only so much you can do. You have to gamble. You've got to gamble a lot when you're in the position the Islanders are in. They're in good position here. Puck behind the net. Turcotte fights off a check, passes it to Ogrodnik. There's the one-timer. What a stop. What a beautiful save by Mark Fitzpatrick. There's the time remaining, 20 seconds on the penalty, the first penalty to Doug Crossman. 34 seconds remaining to Joe Riekke's penalty. Problem with the equipment, if you can get away with it without getting a delay of the game. Right now, I don't think you could get a penalty if you're an Islander, no matter what you did. What scoring opportunities the Rangers have had. They have missed the net on two good scoring opportunities. Brian Leach, there's the shot. That was deflected. There's the rebound by Turcotte. Good stop, good positioning by the goaltender, Mark Fitzpatrick. He's staying on his feet. There, he can't. He stretches out to make the save, but three Islanders back to help him where they have to be.
Down the draw. Archibald feeds the blue line. Leach over to Patrick. In a little deeper. Sandstrom feeds it back to Patrick. Right back to Patrick again for a shot. Blocked in front. Here's Sandstrom with it. He feeds Patrick, and he shot it wide. Leach chases it to the corner. Crossman steps out of the penalty box, and Sandstrom was there, couldn't get a stick on it, and it's cleared down the ice.
What a job by the Islanders. That's the first penalty over, and now the other is going to be over in 5 seconds. That should give them quite a lift.
Big kill. There were two men short for 1 minute and 45 seconds. A lot of shots, no goal. Sandstrom rips the puck wide of the net. Bounces up the left side. Chasing it is Don Maloney. Into the Ranger zone. Maloney goes to the corner with Horsheva. Maloney kicking at the puck after having lost his stick. It's recovered and brought up by Horsheva. Feeds it into the center ice zone. Sandstrom stick handling into the Islander territory. Backhander by Ogrodnik is blocked. The rebound is shot wide. It was right there, now shot wide again off the post to the left. The Rangers with all kinds of opportunities, and here's Tamayo into the Ranger zone. His centering pass is picked off. Got back by Horsheva. Plays it down into the Islander zone. Mark Fitzpatrick turned it over. Ogrodnik centered one in front, and Sandstrom battles for it back to the net. It's on the mesh, and play is called. Mark Fitzpatrick comes out, heaves a sigh of relief as we pause for a regional break.
It seems it just got underway. 15 shots so far in the period for the New York Rangers. And think of the number of scoring shots that they missed from close in. They missed 4 that I counted. 4 scoring opportunities they missed the net altogether with.
They've had 15, make it 16 shots on goal through the first 7.5 minutes of the second period. They hold the puck at the Islander line. Center one off Nyland in front. He's turned it over. Lindy Ruff moving up through the slot. Lost control of the puck, and Diddick takes Ruff into the corner heavily. Rangers continue to battle. That's Erickson pulling it away from LaFontaine. He got turned around. Has given it to Lindy Ruff. Jansen's back in the net. Is tied up with Nyland. Erickson centers. Back through the slot. A delayed penalty call in effect here against the New York Islanders. They get Van Beesbrook to the bench for the extra attacker. His rough shot is turned aside. Comes right back. Long shot. Fitzpatrick blocked it. Comes out to trap the puck. Could not. And now the whistle sounds. Referee Billy McCreary calling the penalty against Gerald Diddick. So another power play for the Islanders.
18 shots on goal so far. There's the penalty. Gerald Diddick on Lindy Ruff. So the Islanders in their own end of the ice. I think somebody's tilted the ice, too. The Islanders haven't been in the Rangers' end for about 9 minutes.
You look at Mark Fitzpatrick. He'll be 21 tomorrow. He has faced 31 shots. We're not quite to the midway point of the hockey game, regulation time. Islanders running into the 5th consecutive penalty as Didick goes off for tripping at the 8:07 mark. Rangers get the draw. Leach tipping it back to Patrick. In along the boards, Gord Brosiker seemed to be in front of Granato. Now Granato gets it back to Patrick through a screen. He scores!
It had to happen. It turns out the most unsuspecting kind of a shot beats Mark Fitzpatrick. Tony Granato, James Patrick. There's the shot. Whether it was deflected in front, I'm not sure. Whether it was screened, it's hard to tell. It looks like yes, it was deflected. It changed direction just slightly. Granato to Patrick. His shot. There it is, going in. And then up into the top, the water bottle bulges, and it's tied at 2 apiece after 19 shots that Mark Fitzpatrick had stopped. Kind of a floater ends up getting behind him.
So we're tied at the 8:19 mark of the second period. Flatley with a pair of goals for the Islanders. Now they're back into their own zone again. Crossman moves it up to Trache. The pass to Chizowski went off his stick. Granato and Leach are getting assists. The goal has been credited to Patrick. 2-2 is the score. The Islanders back into their own end of the ice again. Pochek put it in the corner. Mullen tried to center it back to Pochek. It goes to the blue line for Muller. A shot turned aside by Fitzpatrick, and the rebound is picked up and cleared by David Chizowski. Played it through center ice. Rangers hustling back. This is Hardy. They give it to Muller. Into the center ice zone. Millette moved up. Couldn't get a stick on it. Or Pochek, excuse me, here on the right side. And Hardy drops back. Mark Hardy clears it to Rudy Pochek. Off his stick. Covered by Jeff Norton. Norton banks it out through center, just out of the reach of DeMaio. Now DeMaio gets it again across the line with Chizowski. DeMaio shot went wide. Didick races in from the right point. Gave it to Alan Kerr. Kerr feeds Norton, lets one go. It's blocked by Van Beesbrook, and Pochek trying to clear the zone. Couldn't. Here's Jeff Norton. Centers one, and it's tipped just wide as Alan Kerr cut in off the wing. DeMaio chases a loose puck. It's tied up with Hardy. It's moved back to the line. Alan Kerr holding it now. Plays it into the corner. Chizowski looks and blasts one off Van Beesbrook. The rebound came right back to him as it hit DeMaio and is covered, and now some scuffling. Islander defense comes in to join this practice. Punches flying. Didick has somebody picked up. That's Pochek. Turns into wrestling, and the linesman Vines and Brosiker go in to pull them apart. Oh, really?
Rudy the Lion Killer. All right.
Well, we'll get our first fighting penalties of this hockey game. You look at Mick Dakota in the corner of your screen. Eye twitching just a little, saying, I need a shift, Al. I'd like to get out there. But, and you think of the battle of words between the two coaches, Roger Nielsen and Al Arbour, the last time the two teams met. Tom Bardwell, our informant on that, says it went back to the playoffs in the spring of 1978 when Al Arbour coached the Islanders against Roger Nielsen's Toronto Maple Leaf team, and the Leafs zoomed it up.
Here's the opportunity. Van Beesbrook has a hold of the puck. Alan Kerr, number 10, with Troy Millette. Rudy Pochek comes in. Rob DeMaio and he. That one cools off that you see now, but then Didick. A lot of knuckles flying. Not so sure how many landed.
Offsetting penalties called by referee McCreary at the 10:03 mark. Now he's over to report something else. Al Arbor apparently had the glasses off. Made a gesture toward the referee, we're told, and now Al appealing to what's going on. If he made a gesture as if he was handing them, offering them to the referee, that could be a bench penalty.
Now the referee explaining it to Rob DeMaio. He was gesturing like he did see him take the glasses off and gesture. When you talk about penalties that are unnecessary, there. Now Al's explaining, I regularly take my glasses off because I can't see that far with them on. It didn't work, Al. I don't think you're going to get away with it. McBury pointing to Al Arbor.
Well, we're going to have to get those elastic bands on that set of glasses, Al.
Well, the offsetting penalties have just been offset.
A bench penalty called against the Islanders at the 10:03 mark sets up one more New York Ranger power play. This will be their 8th. They tied it. Patrick scoring at the 8:19 mark with a man advantage. Turcotte unable to pick up the puck behind the Islander net. Don Maloney cleared it to the line. It was held in by Leach. Played it in deeper to Granato. Ocek. Sandstrom, rather, played it in behind the net. It comes to the right wing boards. Look toward Turcotte. Comes back to the line. The drive. Fitzpatrick to save off Patrick, and he'll hold on. 9 minutes, 26 seconds remaining in the second period.
Boy, they can shoot laser beams from back there. James Patrick, has a very hard shot, a heavy shot, and Brian Leach can match it. There's the pass back. There's the shot. Getting a good look at it, Mark Fitzpatrick gets the glove out and hangs on. What a busy goaltender in the second period. 35 shots now, the Rangers, through the 2 periods.
Remember, when you're having good times with good friends or celebrating Mark's birthday tomorrow, use good sense and drink responsibly. Please know when to say when. A reminder from Anheuser-Busch. Turcotte will take the face-off. Ryan Trottier moving in for the Islanders. Trottier and Volek with Crossman and Ricci. The puck comes back to Leach. Into Turcotte. Turcotte fake once, started in a little deeper, turns, gives it to Leach. Over to Patrick. Puts the pass on the backhand. Feeds it back to Leach for a drive. That changed direction, went wide. Turcotte has it. Granato sets up his man. The shot went wide. Millette chases it into the corner. Tangled up there with Ricci. Now Granato digs it loose. Plays it back along the boards. Millette sets up Patrick. To Brian Leach. Back to Patrick. One times it and it's turned aside. Fitzpatrick dropping down to block it. Wallach clears it, but not out. Rangers played in deeper, and Crossman tries the left wing boards. Got it to Trottier, and it's knocked away from him. Now it's skied high. Ricci playing it out towards center. 32 seconds remaining in the Ranger power play as they went into the Islanders zone offside.
A lot of time in the Islanders' end of the ice. The penalty killers get a hold of the puck, and they're unable to get it out into the center ice area. Never mind down the ice, and that is hurting the Islanders, giving more scoring opportunities to the Rangers. Ed Leach getting a little refreshment. Tony Granato, James Patrick can all shoot the puck, and of course Turcotte leading them. There's Leach as he comes down the boards. What a good job as he takes it away from Brian Trottier. At that point, you've got to either get the puck or get the man, and Brian Trottier didn't get either.
Brian Leach getting a rest over at the Ranger bench. Greshner on the point here along with Horsheva. Balance of this power play, now 30 seconds left in it. Sandstrom has checked at the Islander blue line. Archibald tips it back to Greshner. Over to Horsheva. Right side, Sandstrom turned it over to Norton. Gave it back again, and there's Randy Wood to clear it. This is Sandstrom. On a Sandstrom into the Islanders zone off right wing. Shifting that puck back and forth. Feeds the blue line. Greshner's shot is off the target, and Patrick Flatley picks it up. Feeds it out to Randy Wood. Wood moving in on Horsheva, is joined now by Alan Kerr. The pass there, it's broken up by Sandstrom. On a Sandstrom down the left side. Sandstrom to the Islander line. Kerr had been serving the minor penalty on the Islander bench. Teams at 6 aside, and the puck ends up in the mesh behind Fitzpatrick, and they'll face it off outside the blue line. We have 7 minutes and 41 seconds remaining in the second period.
Thomas Sandstrom, a good puck carrier, good shot, sizing things up. He can kind of disappear on you. He's the kind of a player that can melt into the board somewhere. You just don't notice him anywhere, and then all of a sudden, he appears. The puck appears. He has a good timing, a good read for the puck, knows where to go when he doesn't have it. Needless to say, he's upsetting to the opposition.
Very. Now Nyland trying to move it out of the zone. It was held in by Erickson. He gave it to Ruff, who put it right out in front. Janssens was there, but could not get a stick on it. They play it back of the net to Ruff. Centers one. It's loose, and again, Janssens failed to make contact. Out comes Don Maloney. Dumps it in from center ice. And Beesbrook, who's had a very quiet period. The Islanders had 3 shots in the period early and nothing since. We have 7 minutes remaining now in the second period. Nyland handling the puck, has given it to Crossman. Gary Nyland had to play it off a broken stick. Nyland leads Maloney on the left side. Patrick takes it away at the Ranger line. Greshner had a little trouble with it. Makela started in. Now in comes LaFontaine. And it's cleared back into center ice. This line of Makela, LaFontaine, and Maloney had some success when it was first put together, and then Makela did not play the last 3 games. LaFontaine into the Ranger zone. Maloney chased. Greshner is there. Ron Greshner feeds it up the boards. Off Lindy Ruff. Backboard is Crossman. Crossman pulls away from Janssens. Fed the right side. They feed it right back to Crossman. Erickson can't handle it. Rangers try to work it around the boards. It went to LaFontaine. He sidesteps Greshner. Played it off Janssens, off the side of the net as well. Here's LaFontaine once again. Walks out of the corner. Can't slip around Janssens this time, and the Rangers clear the zone. Going back is Crossman. Both teams in the middle of player changes. Crossman feeds the puck to Volley. Alan Kern, he couldn't hold it at center ice. Lead pass, but it's offside as the Rangers broke in over the line. Mullen just a little ahead of the play. Face off just outside the Islander line. The Islanders controlling the puck here. Ricky moves it up smartly. DeMaio got checked, however. Sandstrom into the Islander zone, and it's knocked off his stick. Orshava turns it over to DeMaio. Up the back for Ricky. Ricky takes a look. Played it to the right side. DeMaio goes cross ice. Alan Kerr couldn't pick it up. Norton did, and then he shot one off Sandstrom. That puts it in the Islanders zone. Backing up with it is Norton. Ahead now to Kerr. Alan Kerr goes rink wide for Joe Ricky. Across the Ranger line. Drop pass for Volek. David Volek comes out of the corner. Shot one. It's grabbed and held by Van Beesbrook.
The Islanders anticipate their usual hard-hitting matchup with the Philadelphia Flyers on Tuesday, November the 14th. The Toronto Maple Leafs make their only appearance of the 89-90 season on Thursday, November the 16th. For tickets, visit the Coliseum box office or your local Ticketmaster outlet. To charge tickets by phone, call Ticketmaster at either 516-888-9000 or 212-307-7171.
Both teams making some player changes here. Well, the Rangers may be going into one of the NHL's real hotspots for their next game, going to Pittsburgh, and a report coming out of there today, talking to our pal Dave Molinari. He expects the coach, Gene Ubriaco, to be fired, if not tonight, then certainly tomorrow, before Tuesday's game. He said it could even involve the general manager, Tony Esposito. They lost 8-3, Pittsburgh did, in St. Louis last night, and things are not good with the Penguins.
Anytime a player and his agent are allowed to deal directly with the owner, it definitely undermines the general manager and the coach.
Here's Jazowski with a shot right on. And that's the first save Van Beesbrook has had to make officially in a long time. They ruled that play from the side of the net was not on target earlier. David Jazowski, who got the game opener last night against the Blackhawks. He's 4 now in his rookie campaign.
Quick change by the Islanders. Jazowski, it's frustrating to a young player, too. He's used to having a lot of ice time. He played in junior last year. He played on the power play, killed penalties, and took a regular shift. Probably 30 to 35 minutes of ice time of hockey in every game, but much different here.
DeMaio comes out to center for Wood and Vakota. Vakota and Granado bumped a little, skated out of position. Line up again. DeMaio wins the draw, getting the puck to Nyland. He turns, lets one go. That's blocked, and the Rangers break out quickly. Granado, a lead pass. Crossman turns, no penalty. Pulled King down. King plays it around the boards. Turcotte centers it right out in front, and Crossman is there to clear that. Randy Wood moves it on. DeMaio goes to the right side with a pass to Vakota. Just dumps one into the Rangers zone. The Islanders go into forecheck, but Patrick picks it up. James Patrick overled Granado. Nyland for the Islanders to Randy Wood up the boards, but out of the reach of Rob DeMaio. Comes back to Nyland, and he's dumped it in. The Islanders regain the blue line with 4 minutes and 20 seconds to play in the second period. The only goal scored by the Rangers on the power play to tie it at 2-2. Back in his own zone is Nyland. The pass to Rob DeMaio. To the left side to Flatley. Patrick Flatley sidesteps Lindy Ruff, then plays the puck rink wide. DeMaio is in the middle of the change, and the Rangers come up with it. Here's Mark Hardy with a shot. Patrick got a piece of that. Wood moves out into center ice. Didn't get it to Trottier in time. Moeller back for the Rangers has given it to Greshner. He dumps it down into the Islanders zone. Fitzpatrick plays it around the boards. Comes off the boards and right to Brian Trottier. Lost it to Jansen's left side. They score! Jan Eriksson, open on left wing, puts the Rangers in front for the first time tonight.
Who said he was only a defensive hockey player? Not so. He gets important goals. He's gotten one here. What a play. Brian Trottier couldn't control the puck as it came out into the center of the ice. There, he reached, didn't get it. Holding it in and taking a shot, having it deflect off Trottier again. Eriksson lets a shot go. Lindy Ruff in front of the goaltender, Mark Fitzpatrick, and the puck is in the net. Turning and firing it. Mark Janssens. Eriksson gives the Rangers the lead.
That's Eriksson's third goal of the season coming up here as you look at it again. Ruff knocked down by Nyland, but Eriksson's third. His best season was 8 goals. 86-87 season here for the Rangers. 27 years of age now, used, as Eddie said, primarily as a checker with Janssens and Ruff. The Rangers have a 3-2 lead as Jaszowski moves over the line. He shoots Van Beesbrook to save, but the whistle had sounded. The play was offside.
Mark Fitzpatrick has to be thinking to himself, I don't get this many shots in a full practice. A lot of shots here in the second period.
25 so far for the Rangers. The Islanders float one toward the net that's grabbed and held by Van Beesbrook. Still 3 minutes and 17 seconds to play in the second period.
Eleven-year veteran of the Buffalo Sabres, Lindy Ruff. I wonder how he matches up with the average height for the Rangers at 6 feet. 196 pounds, and the average age of the New York Rangers is 26.94. They're in the middle of the pack. The Islanders, they average 6'1", 191 pounds, and they're 25.09 years of age, youngest team in the league.
Fun to watch them develop. They had a 2-0 lead tonight. Rangers can come back with 3, and now LaFontaine nudges the puck out. Maloney sends Makela over the line, and the shot was turned aside by Van Beesbrook. Well, the chances have been there. Few and far between, however, in this period. Lindy Ruff puts the puck deep in the Islanders' zone. Fitzpatrick swings it into the corner. Pryor colliding with Eriksson. John Eriksson played it around the boards. And this is Jeff Norton up to LaFontaine. It was knocked away from him by Leach. Back for the Islanders. Played the second period without Brent Sutter. Stayed in the dressing room with back spasms. Not expected to return tonight. Rangers into the Islanders' zone. Sandstrom handled the puck, and it appeared that he brought it outside the line. Play was allowed to continue, and LaFontaine chases it down left wing. He has Makela with him. The puck knocked off his stick by Sandstrom. Ends up on the right wing. Makela kicks it toward the corner. He's surrounded by New York Rangers. Grodnick pokes it back to Sandstrom. Now up to John O'Grodnick. Across to Brian Leach. Over the Islander line. He can't drag it around Reekie, and then it's held in. Archibald centers one. Leach puts it in front. That's steered aside by Fitzpatrick. John Ogrodnik got to the puck quickly. They send Archibald toward the net. Play broken up as Crossman takes it to the end boards. He and Archibald continue to move it. And now Bill McCreary says it's been held long enough for a face-off.
Only have to flood one end of the ice. The Zamboni operator, which I understand the regular Zamboni operator has been ill, quite ill now. There's a gang here, as there is in most rinks that have been around for a long time. The Zamboni operator reportedly has been ill, and a lot of the people here worried about him. Right now, Roger Nielsen's concerned. See if he can't get another goal. 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining in the second period. They've had the opportunities to fill the net.
You hear the story that Gary Green reportedly, the line that he uttered, somebody asked who the sports network in Canada was going to get to replace Roger Nielsen as a commentator this year. Green said nobody. Roger will be back by Christmas. His team is in first place. And
he didn't say which Christmas, though.
No, he didn't. Lyle trying to tie up the man. The puck came loose and shot right into the catching glove. David Volek moves it up the left side, and now Nyland dumps it out towards center. This is James Patrick. Got it in off the glass. Harry Nyland clears the zone. Volek chases it through center ice. Back was Hardy. Moved it off the boards, off Nyland. It went to Volek. To Patrick Flatley. Or to Kerr, excuse me, and his shot is deflected up into the seats, and now Kerr is challenged over on right wing. Some more pushing. There's Diddick as well.
It was Hardy and Kerr, and then King stepped in. Linesman doing a good job. Actually, the players I don't think they're really that anxious to fight, but they do challenge each other, and if the linesman can get between them quickly, it usually quiets things down. 26 shots so far for the Rangers here in the second period. Chris King hit the goalpost in the first period with a tremendous blast.
Rangers have had the benefit of 4 power play chances in this second period, excuse me.
Seems like the third period there's been so much action and so many shots by one team.
Yes, the Rangers dominating again in the second period tonight.
Penalties have made it that much worse for the Islanders. They started out that way.
Islanders gave up 22 shots against in the second period at home the other night when Quebec visited. Tonight, the Rangers have had 26 shots in the second period. Tonight, you don't get that many in a game. For instance, last night, the Islanders with only 19 shots against Chicago in a 5-3 loss on home ice. Less than a minute to go here in the second period. It's the Rangers 3, the Islanders 2. Chris King comes over center ice. King trying to move in on the left side. Crossman got in front of him. King recovers the puck. Centering pass is picked off. Doug Crossman starts out. Lifts it up ahead for Chizowski, who couldn't control it. Now Turcotte, after taking it from Moeller, fires a long shot from center. That missed the net. Crossman takes a look. Plays it to David Chizowski. Chizowski headed up the left wing boards out of the reach of Trottier. Backboard is Greshner. Trottier backing into him. Greshner moves it up the left side, and the fans applauding as the second period comes to a close. The Rangers, who had trailed 2-1 at the end of the first, scored from Turcotte in the period. Several players with 2 each. They outshoot the Islanders 26-7. In the middle period. But 3-2 is the score as the Rangers come to center ice, and James Patrick dumps it into the Islanders zone. Backboard is Diddick. He and Gary Nyland together on defense. Up front to Miles, centering for Kerr and Volek. The Islanders again forced into their own zone. Volek bumping with Granato, and there's Nyland knocking it loose. Off the boards here on the right side for Kerr. He couldn't control it. Centered across by King, goes back to Patrick. Long shot, misses the net. Bounces out the right side. Kerr chases it. Hardy is back for the Rangers. Kerr couldn't knock it away from him. King is there. There's King poking at it, and it went back into the Rangers zone. Turcotte dropped it off for Patrick. Lays it at the far side, and now King backhands it down into the Islander zone. Both teams in the middle of changes as Gary Nyland plays it up the boards, on into the Ranger zone, right to Van Beesbrook. Leach is back. Maloney went into forecheck. The puck went to LaFontaine. His shot is wide. Van Beesbrook steers it back of the goal. There's Don Maloney. Nico Makela with a shot. That just missed the net. Comes bouncing off the boards and all the way back into the Islander territory. Rossman will pick it up back of the net. Dropped it off, and the Rangers pour in quickly. Here's Lindy Ruff. Erickson. Rossman bumped him. Erickson recovers the puck. Rossman on him again. Slows him up. Jansen's in after it, and there's LaFontaine checking him. They pin it on the boards, and there's no further play.
Take a look at the out-of-town scores. One score, a final. Devils 3, the Flyers 3. New Jersey, after taking a thumping from Philadelphia, come back and get a tie hockey game. We know that Bullard and Craven had 2 of the goals for Philadelphia. Tommy Abilene and Turgeon for the New Jersey Devils.
Flyers, the one team in the Patrick division right now with some consistency. They've lost only 1 of their last 7 games. The Capitals have won only 3 of their last 12. Pittsburgh has won 2 of their last 11. The Devils have won 2 of their last 8. Of course, with a tie tonight, and that's included in there. And the Islanders 1 win in their last 11. The Rangers, 2 wins in the last 5. And here's a shot from Pryor. Just missed. Van Beesbrook seemed to pick it up late. Now Chizowski goes to center one, and they fanned on the shot. This is Archibald moving out for the Rangers. Over the Islander line, gave it to Ogrodnik, and his shot went off the stick. Picked up and brought down the right side by Chris Pryor. Long shot. Firing it around the boards in reality, and there's Chizowski putting it back to the net. Chizowski got hit hard after making the play. Fontaine in after it. Goes to Flatley, to Chizowski. Back to Jeff Norton. Norton puts it on target, grabbed and held, and then dropped off by Van Beesbrook. The Rangers go up the middle, and the pass intercepted. Chizowski with a shot just missed. Here's Flatley. Patrick Flatley throws it back of the net. LaFontaine slips it out in front. Fontaine couldn't get to it again. Flatley does, puts it back of the goal. Archibald slipped away from LaFontaine. The shot from the blue line went wide as Nyland unloaded. Now Diddick moves in and missed the puck. The Islanders send Gary Nyland back for it.
Islanders again guilty of missing the net. Makela a moment ago, Chizowski, and then Nyland, all 3 missing the target.
Now LaFontaine gets knocked down heavily. Took an elbow to the chin. Play is allowed to continue. Hardy decked him, and Randy Woods trying to slip out in front of the net. LaFontaine in after it. Didn't get a stick on it. Now Hardy pulls the feet up from under another one of the Islanders, and play again allowed to continue. Jansen's over the line, drops it back. James Patrick up the slot on the backhand, and it's deflected wide. The puck loose behind Fitzpatrick is picked up and cleared by LaFontaine. Hardy waiting at center ice, shoots it on in again. Patrick steers it onto the stick of Gerald Diddick. The Rangers 3, the Islanders 2. Just over 16 minutes to play in the third period. Diddick has iced the puck. 10 feet, his own side of the center ice stripe. He drilled it into Ranger zone, and play is called.
Precious and few the chances you get in a hockey game. The Islanders, with some opportunities, missing the net. Possession of the puck, such a big part of a hockey game. Face-offs, as we have one now in the Islanders' end a moment ago. You pointed out. Islanders in possession of the puck, coming up through the center ice area, and taking ice.
Now the Rangers after the draw. Millette backhands one into the catching glove of Fitzpatrick. Bollick plays it outside the line and turned right back in again. Islanders trying to move it up right wing. Alan Kerr has tipped it to DeMaio. Miles pass to Bollick. It goes back to Crossman. Doug Crossman with a shot. Juggled by Van Beesbrook. Loose momentarily at the side of the net. Bollick could not control it. Alan Kerr in forechecking, but the Rangers able to clear it out. This is Crossman. Giving it to Rob DeMaio. Didn't shovel it ahead for Kerr. Millette turned it right back to DeMaio. Now to Kerr. Alan Kerr into the Rangers zone. Went to center one. Off the stick. Into the skates of David Bollick, who lost his balance. Buckets cleared out to center ice. Ricky dumps it in for the Islanders. DeMaio into forecheck, and the Rangers move it out the right wing boards. Quickly, Norton moves it to Kerr. Long shot, stick save by Van Beesbrook. Rangers move it through the center ice zone again. Ryan Mullen dumps one back to the Islander net. 15 minutes remaining in the third period. Flyers pass to Norton. Dangerous play up the right side, but he's been able to clear the zone. Again, it's relayed right back into the Islander territory. Fitzpatrick wheels it around the boards. Chiselsky had to go off his stick, and it's picked up by Trottier. Ridden into the boards at the Ranger bench by King. Rangers mishandled it at center ice. Here's Chiselsky. Got knocked down on his knees. Still trying to make the play. King hit him from behind. The puck held in by Flatley. Danced around Granato. Flatley plays it in deeper. It's centered across. Broken up by Turcotte. Aaron Turcotte sends Granato into center ice. He got tripped up by Trottier. Dive is the feeling of referee Bill McCreary. No penalty. Up comes Diddick. Gerald Diddick can't get it to Chiselsky. Janssens picks it off. He's over the Islander line. The pass to Rupp. Loose in front. Erickson with a shot that went wide. Now Norton has it. And he bangs one off the boards out towards center ice. James Patrick gives it to Hardy. Up the middle with a pass to Lindy Rupp to Mark Janssens. Gets it into the Islanders zone. Nyland is there colliding with Lindy Rupp. Pat LaFontaine left it on the boards. Janssens and Bakula battle for it, and it's sprung loose to the opposite wing, and Chiselsky flips it up to center ice. Less than 14 minutes to go in the third period at Madison Square Garden. Mark Hardy rounds the net, trying to get away from LaFontaine. Up the middle he comes. Hardy over the line with Rupp. Hardy backhanded it toward the corner. LaFontaine picks it up. Feeds right wing. Bakula couldn't reach it. Ryan Leach forces the Islanders back. Crossman goes to the opposite side. Gary Nyland's pass behind LaFontaine. And that's going to be called for icing.
Exciting hockey. WCBS out-of-town score. Buffalo 6, Edmonton 5. What's so exciting about that? Andrechuk scored at 19:59. With only a second remaining, Buffalo wins. They're now 7-0-1 in their last 8 games.
Boy, Rick Dudley, the new coach in Buffalo this season, has done some job, hasn't he?
He's got the Buffalo Sabres believing in themselves. Edmonton Oilers score 5 goals and lose.
Tough trip for Edmonton. They lost in Boston, won last night, and lose tonight in Buffalo. Here's Vakota handling the puck as he moves over the Ranger line. Leach picked him up. Vakota gets to it again, dumps it back of the net. Randy Wood was knocked down in front of the goal. Covered in time to put it back of the net, but there was Leach. Left, moving it out through center ice. Archibald was down and couldn't handle it, and now Rob DeMaio plays it on into the Ranger territory. Dakota goes into forecheck, so does DeMaio. It comes back to Crossman for a shot. That just missed on the stick side, and now there will be a penalty. Dakota taken down, and he is on the ice in front of Van Beesbrook. Bill McCreary wants to take a look at him. The Islanders are going to get a power play opportunity here.
Nick Vakota was a while getting up. The penalty is cross-checking to Randy Moeller. Just out in front of the net. There's the play on Sandstrom a moment ago. Good hit by Mick Vakota. And then Moeller goes after Vakota. Vakota stops. Bang. That's not cross-checking yet. Oh, I guess that was. Anyway, it's a penalty. 2 minutes for cross-checking, and the Islanders trailing only by 1. An opportunity here. They have the 4th best power play in the league. Now's the time to put it to good use.
LaFontaine with Kerr and Volek on the wings. On defense, Norton on the left, Crossman on the right.
And as we speak about the Islanders' 4th best power play, we have to remind everyone that the Rangers' penalty killing, a very good part of their game, ranked 3rd in the league.
This is only the 3rd power play of the night for the Islanders. They've scored a power play goal, given up a shorthanded goal. We'll see what happens here. Van Beesbrook bumped from behind as he played it around the boards. LaFontaine held it in, trying to get it to Volek. Now Volek takes it from Kerr, shoots Van Beesbrook, the pad save. Norton in deep. Can't put it back to the net. The Rangers clear the zone. A little less than 12 minutes to play in the third period. Alan Kerr moves it up the right side to LaFontaine, and he's offside. A two-line pass.
Two mistakes by the Islanders on the power play already. One, out-hustled was Jeff Norton by Jan Erickson on the left wing side. That time, offside on the power play. Pat LaFontaine trying to gain an extra line in a hurry. Catch the New York Rangers changing while they're a man short, but he was offside.
See the positioning on the face-off here. Makela has come to the right. Maloney on the left. Fontaine in the middle. Here's Doug Crossman. And again, the Islanders offside as they're trying to move into the Ranger zone. And now only a minute and 9 seconds left in Muller's cross-checking penalty.
That time the Islanders had a little help from the Rangers. A good stick check by Ron Greshner. A lot of ice time again in the third period so far for LaFontaine. He had a lot in the second period, but I'm sure as long as he's standing and skating, he'll be on the ice in the third period.
7 goals, 2 assists in the last 6 games for Pat LaFontaine. 6 points in the power play, 2 at even strength, and a short-handed goal. The Islanders with the man advantage here, and LaFontaine handling the puck. He gave it to Norton. Goes to the left side, cutting to right wing is Makela. Makela lost it as he came to the Ranger line, and back goes Norton.
The timing is not there when you haven't played in 3 games, as Makela tries to skirt and go outside the Ranger penalty killer.
Now LaFontaine gets over the line on right wing, cutting it on goal. Dropped it back, Crossman shot, skimmed the post. Comes loose back to the net, it's picked up by LaFontaine. He feeds Makela. To the point, Norton gives it right back to Makela. Unloads one off the stick. LaFontaine with it back of the net. Centers to Crossman. Crossman out of the corner, sets up LaFontaine. Works from back of the net, looked toward Makela, gave him the puck. Now back to Norton. Over to Makela. Makela cutting it off right wing with a drive. Blocked in front. Here's LaFontaine. Van Beesbrook down. They shoot. Van Beesbrook got a piece of it. Turcotte chasing it for the Rangers, and he got it to the line. They ruled that Norton picked it up outside the line. He got it with his glove, got it with the hand, and brought it back in to stop the play. But Maloney robbed by Van Beesbrook.
Take a look at the play behind the net. LaFontaine to Makela on the right wing side, back to Jeff Norton. There's the goaltender looking for the puck. Pat LaFontaine signaling with his stick in the air. Bring the puck to the net. Here it comes. Stopped by Maloney. Instead of shooting it, Maloney shovels it off to LaFontaine. One play too many. The Islanders have been doing a lot of that lately. When they have scoring opportunities, they end up passing it off. There, Maloney, instead of ripping it at the net on the backhand, he passed to Pat LaFontaine, who was standing off on a wide angle.
1 second, all that's left in Muller's cross-checking penalty.
Maloney seems to be in pain. May have taken a two-hander across the wrists. Says it's okay, but he doesn't look like it's okay.
Mark Aldridge now leaning in to talk to him, the Islanders trainer, after seeing Lorne Henning checking with him. Teams at 6 aside here. Rangers leading by a goal as Diddick fires one wide of Van Beesbrook. Trache goes in after it. It's cleared right back to the blue line. In comes Nyland across to Chisowski. Shoots, pad save. Trache has the rebound. Sets it up for Diddick, and his drive is blocked by Van Beesbrook. Out come the New York Rangers. So Grodnick playing it down the right side. Now they go to the left side for Hardy, and he just plays it in around the board. Trache tied up with Erickson. Nyland, neat move, back of the net to get away from the forecheckers. Gives the puck to Brian Trache. Trying to slip it around Sandstrom. It goes to Ogrodnik. Down to the open side and recovered by Erickson. Sandstrom trying to walk in out of the corner. Does. Fitzpatrick beat him, and Trache breaks out. Trache and Chisowski over center. 2-on-2. Trache across the line. Fed Chisowski, but the play is offside. We pause now for a regional break. The New York Ranger blue line. Rod DeMille with Lakota on the right side, Randy Wood on the left. The Islander forward line, and then on defense, Pryor on the right and Norton on the left. The Rangers handling the puck, pass through the center ice area, and it's dumped in by Troy Millette. Wood takes it back to the goal. Giving it to Norton. That steps in front of him and broke up the pass. Roy Millette plays it off Ryan Mullen. Fired the line, couldn't clear it. Mullen works it in a little deeper. That's Erickson in after it. In comes Mullen as well. Rangers get to it. Try to center it. It bounces to the side of the net. Recovered by Mullen. Ryan Mullen circles the wagons, and the shot is blocked and then covered by Fitzpatrick.
The Islander defensemen getting themselves tied up with forwards of the New York Rangers. Somebody left open, and Mullen with the puck comes out in front, gets a scoring opportunity. Another mistake by the Islanders. Mark Fitzpatrick bails his teammates out. Here's Mullen as he turns, comes out from the side of the net. Where are the defensemen? Well, they're both out there, both tied up with forwards. Can't allow yourself to get tied up. That's what the forwards are trying to do, tie up both defensemen. Center iceman of the Islanders doesn't come back to help out. That leaves them a man short.
On the face-off to the circle to the left of the Islander goal. Rangers win the draw, getting it back to the blue line. Muller's shot deflected in front. Man goes down. Play is allowed to continue again. Ranger fans a little upset. Lack of a call there. Now it's Crossman moving it out through center ice. Volek picks it off at the Ranger line. Can't get around Muller. Volek recovers. Dumps it into the corner for Kerr. Back to the blue line. Ricky with a drive. Off Van Beesbrook. Dropped at the goal post and he covers it. Kerr and Muller exchange some words. Van Beesbrook seemed to lose the puck.
Some good skating by the Islanders. Some good puck handling as they go into the Rangers' end of the ice in control. Joe Ricky lets the shot go. It's to the right of Van Beesbrook just as Kerr, number 10, reaches out for it. He's taken off the puck by Randy Moeller. Van Beesbrook gets a hold of it. Joe Ricky with another good shot from the point. The shot similar to that in the first period that Pat Flatley converted for the first goal of the game back at the 25-second mark.
Ricky playing the left side, Crossman the right as they line up for this face-off. Mentioned at the outset, Joe Ricky had been the captain of the Springfield Indians until being called up by the New York Islanders. Training camp, Joe was considering retiring after being sent down. Here's Alan Kerr trying to move out of the far corner, puts it back in the net. Pache looks for somebody in front. Volek well covered. Now the man open. Ricky shot is blocked. They bang at it. Volek's drive. Blocked by Van Beesbrook. Point blank. Comes back to Crossman. Into David Volek. Volek feeds the left point. That's Ricky. Oh, Ricky's drive. Missed the net. Comes back to Crossman. Crossman plays it toward the corner. On Trottier. It'll be picked up behind the net by Turcotte. He uses the right wing boards. Just did get it outside the line. Trottier tying up Turcotte. Now the puck is touched on into the Islander zone. Crossman is there as a scuffle breaks out in front of the Islander bench. Play continues. Volek moves over the Ranger line. He shoots that hit Leach. And the Rangers fail to clear it. In comes Crossman with a shot. Missed the net. And the Rangers break out 2-on-1. Down the right side they come. They set it up for Granato, and he slipped it underneath the sprawling defenseman. What a play as Archibald came down with Granato 2-on-1, and they don't complete it.
They hesitated, and that's all Nyland needed. That's all the goaltender needed. They made it a 2-on-2. They took it away. Gary Nyland committed himself to the puck carrier. Got the puck underneath him. What a chance for the Rangers to put the game all but out of reach. Dave Archibald hesitated, then passed it across. The puck took a bounce. In all fairness to Tony Granato, it bounced underneath Gary Nyland.
Break, as they call it.
Again, the Islanders missing the net with some good scoring opportunities. Shooting wild.
As they line up in the face-off, Jansen takes the draw. LaFontaine pulled it back, and Fitzpatrick gave it to Nyland, and up the left side it goes. Here's Makula racing over the line. The pass to LaFontaine. Back to Makula. Rounds the net, trying to shake the check of Horsheva. Makula got knocked to the ice. Went to center one, but there was Jansen's. He comes up 3-on-2. Jansen's goes to the right side. That's Lindy Ruff centering off Jansen's stick and wide. Fontaine recovers. Load up a little from behind. Can't get over center ice with it. And Jansen slaps it back in. Nyland rounds the net. Erickson there to forecheck. The pass went to Randy Wood. Haven't seen much of Patrick Flatley here in the third period, have we?
Good point. He's not playing. He must be hurting.
Team already without Brent Sutter. Archibald dumps the puck in for the Rangers. Norton takes it from back of the net and starts out. Ran into a check at center ice. Rodnick gets slowed up here. Sandstrom across the line. He shoots. That missed the net. Nick Lakota takes over for the Islanders. Lakota lugging it down the left side. Feeds it neatly to DeMaio. Now to Randy Wood. Wood pulls up. Lets one go. It's deflected. Goes over the glass and into the seats. 5 minutes and 56 seconds remaining in the third period. Rangers up by a goal. Look at the New York Ranger bench. Roger Nielsen, you coached this season. A lot of people surprised when he got the job. 55 years of age, 24th head coach. 64-year history of the Rangers. His team has outshot the Islanders, the majority of those in the second period. But it's 3-2 as Trottier takes this face-off. Ryan Trottier trying to get it to Flatley, who's out there now. He gives it to Tuzowski, and the shot turned aside. And Beesbrook turned it toward the corner, and the Rangers dump it down the ice. This is Gary Nyland. Doug Crossman up the boards to Flatley. Tipped it, but Hardy was back. Over to Patrick. James Patrick dumps one in wide of the net. It bounces off the end boards for Chris King. Flatley right on him. Chases King into the corner. Nyland comes in for the puck. Nyland trying to play it around Renato. It goes to Dave Kozowski. He's cleared the zone. Horsheva backing up for the Rangers. Lost it to Trottier. Trottier runs into Horsheva. Flatley comes in after it. Patrick Flatley centers off Kozowski. It comes back to the point for Norton. Norton with a shot. Flatley trying to knock it out of the air. Leach was there, but it's brought back now and cleared down the ice by Turcotte.
Surprisingly, when you think of the Rangers having been off for 3 days, the Islanders here in the third period keep bringing the puck to them. They're out shooting the Rangers 9-4.
Rangers not really sitting on that, but they're just not getting anything organized. Their passing hasn't been what it was in the second period.
The Islanders have been skating well and passing the puck better.
Now Jeff Norton turns. Erickson right on him. Forced him back of the net. Alan Kerr taking the puck. He gets chased back to the goal. Rangers forechecking well at this stage. Now it's Kerr. 4.5 minutes to go in the third period. Alan Kerr has trouble getting out of the zone end of the ice. Norton cuts it outside the line. It's brought back in offside. 4 minutes, 20 seconds left in the third period. Both teams taking a little time, making some changes here. Al Arbor sending David Volek over the boards. He'll join Pat LaFontaine and Alan Kerr. Volek going to the left side.
Alan Kerr being double shifted.
Turcotte jabbing at the face-off. It went back into the Islander zone, and Diddick handles it. Giving it to LaFontaine, to Diddick. Drops it off the boards at center ice. Maloney with it. Turned it over, but the pass was a two-line job, an offside pass to begin with.
A player that loves to play against the Islanders, if you asked him, he would concur. 4 goals in 3 games for Darren Turcotte. Short-handed goal in this hockey game.
6th round pick in the 1986 draft. Darren Turcotte, 23 now. This is Norton bringing the puck out for the Islanders. Pulls up, dropped it back. Makula feeds it up to LaFontaine. Cuts to the right side. Works on Greshner. LaFontaine comes off the board. Centers one over Norton's stick. And the Rangers can't get over center ice. Norton back in across the New York Ranger line. Norton turns. The pass to Makula. The shot is a blocking glove save. LaFontaine puts it back in the net for Maloney. Wrapped up there with Moeller. Now LaFontaine battles for it. Maloney tips it into the corner for LaFontaine. He's giving it to Norton. Played one wide. Now Maloney going back to the goal. Gets bumped by Turcotte. Maloney centers. That's off the skate. LaFontaine with it. At LaFontaine. Playing it back to the net. There's Don Maloney. Sidestep one check. Comes out in front of the wraparound. Can't get the shot off. And it's cleared down the ice. This will be an icing call against the Rangers once Diddick touches up. And we have 3 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the third period.
The Islanders are doing it right now, keeping the New York Rangers in their end of the ice. Always amazed. Well, I shouldn't be amazed. I've seen him do it for so many years. Don Maloney is one of the better players with his feet. He never gives up the puck. He and Pat Flatley are so good at it. They head gets down and they can't get it up, but they control the puck with their stick, their feet, whatever it is that they can use on the puck at the time, and they will not give it away.
Only had that chance. Kept the puck, as you pointed out, in his skates. Turned around before he could get a shot away. Rache centering here for Flatley and Chazowski. Rangers bounce it down into the Islanders' zone. Patrick came out to play it. Moves it around to Doug Crossman. Crossman makes a look. Sandstrom was into forecheck. Moved out into the center ice area. Deflected to Flatley. Across the Ranger line. Chazowski moves in, and the feet knocked out from under him. Back on the Rangers. Sandstrom moving up ahead of the pack. The pass went to Archibald. He shoots past, saved. Big rebound off Fitzpatrick's pads, but Flatley has it. He's given it to Trache. Trache over the line with Flatley and Chazowski. Chazowski has it. Drops it back. Up the middle. Ricci with a shot. That's blocked. Diving. Blocked by James Patrick. There's an Islander in the goal crease. Flatley had been knocked into the net. Chazowski centers off Trache's stick, and it went right to Archibald. Up ahead they go. Hardy carries it to the Islander line, then peels back. Killing some precious time here. Just over 2 minutes to play in the third period. Rangers moving around the boards. Orcheva failed to clear it out. DeMaio centering pass is picked off, but the Rangers able to move it to center ice. Down the left side, it's Erickson cutting in on goal. Centering pass ends up on Leach's stick, and he shot it wide. Erickson in the left wing corner, bowled over by DeMaio. Norton handles the puck. Stepped away from a check. Comes up the middle of the ice. 3-on-3. Norton over the Ranger line. Look toward Kerr. Holds it. Ben Volek. His shot is blocked. David Volek battling for it. It's knocked away by Ruff. And all the way down into the Islanders' zone. Diddick will go back for it. This will be an icing call against the Rangers. 1 minute and 22 seconds left in regulation time.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised if Al Arbor used a timeout here. Give his players a bit of a break. The face-off in the Rangers' end of the ice. 1 minute and 22 seconds remain. Got to think about getting Mark Fitzpatrick off the ice. What a scoring chance again. Erickson, who has scored a goal in this game, his third. Actually, right now, it's the go-ahead goal for the Rangers. A timeout has been called. I believe it would have been the Islanders.
Yeah, exactly. Al giving that T signal. Knocks it over at the bench, gives Roger Nielsen an opportunity to do the same. Let's set the stage. If you joined us late, the Islanders got off to a 2-0 lead. Rangers got a shorthanded goal to cut it to 2-1. Rangers scored twice in the second period, and that's been it as far as goals. Flatley with both of them tonight for the Islanders.
Joe Ricci with a shot blocked in front. Watch John Van Beesbrook. Bang, a left hook. I guess it would have been jab on Pat Flatley as Flatley fell into the net. Van Beesbrook said, I don't want you to leave for a half a second here, boys. Come, take that.
A lot of things gone undetected here tonight. The Islanders, Fitzpatrick staying on the ice. Fontaine, Maloney, and Makela, Crossman, and Norton. Rangers, Mark Hardy checking with his coach. He's over to talk to Lindy Ruff. Ruff will shift to the right.
Can I talk to Al Arbor for a minute? Can't we get Mark Fitzpatrick up on the blue line? Wouldn't that be the place for him here? If LaFontaine wins the draw that got possession, he'd be right at the bench. He'd only have half the distance. That's 85 feet across. He'd only have 42 and a half feet to get to the bench.
Hasn't been Al's style, though, has it? Been working on that for some time.
Well, I haven't discussed that with him, but
Fontaine and Jansen's on the face-off. Fontaine pulled it to Crossman. Puts it back of the net. Van Beesbrook slaps it around the boards. There's Ruff. Tie it up on the boards. Crossman moves in, knocks his man down. Knocked loose. And now frozen with 1 minute and 8 seconds remaining.
Mark Fitzpatrick was pointing to the bench, trying to get someone's attention. He wants to be looking at the right person when the wave comes. Here's the face-off. Pat LaFontaine, kind of a saw-off, I guess, with Jansen's. Then the puck in the corner doesn't loosen up. They have now got the goaltender on the bench.
Lindy Ruff eyeing the empty net. Fitzpatrick on the bench. Randy Wood comes out as the extra Islander. And Healy with a little rub on the top of the helmet.
Deservedly so rubbed, because Healy recognizes what a contribution that Mark Fitzpatrick has made for the Islanders in this game.
Fontaine directing Norton as to where he wants him. Crossman comes off the boards a little at the right point. Wood is on the near side. He got the draw to Crossman. Back to Norton. Norton fires one. Blocked in front. Wood battles for it. Got it loose. Rangers can't clear the zone. This is Bacala on right wing. Shot one toward the net. That's knocked down. James Patrick closed his hand on it. Got away with it. 50 seconds to go, and the Rangers have cleared the zone. Crossman with it at center ice. Doug Crossman works it over to Jeff Norton. Norton dumps it in, right to Leach, and he fires into an empty net. Well, the young Islander team.
Boy, they pay for mistakes, don't they?
Man.
Couldn't hand it to a better shooter than Brian Leach in the middle of the ice. And Jeff Norton, it looked as though he wasn't sure what he wanted to do with it. Shoot it in or make a pass. He did neither. Leach intercepts it, put it directly in the middle of the net. Jeff Norton, there he goes, lets it fly. Makela was heading into the end, but Leach just fires it down the ice, directly in. 2-goal lead for the Rangers. It's 4-2. The play, 2 Islanders heading into the end. Had he been able to get it through, possibly possession deep in the Rangers' end, but it did not work out that way.
An empty net goal. Brian Leach's 6th goal of the season. The Rangers lead 4-2 as Makela comes over the line to Flatley, and his shot is blocked and covered by John Van Beesbrook. Flatley scored both Islander goals. They led at one stage 2-0, and the Rangers have scored 4 unanswered. Leach into the empty net as you look at Brian Leach, last year's National Hockey League Rookie of the Year.
Yes, he did not get off to a good scoring start, they felt. The early hockey games, a lot of the teams now able to key on him, particularly on the power play. As you could see in the power play tonight, Patrick and he moving back and forth, different sides of the ice, a little more difficult then for penalty killers to key.
Al Arbor has pulled the goaltender again. Roger Nielsen, his team up 4-2, and he's coaching over there. Fontaine lost the draw to Jansen. Greshner works from back of the net. Wallach right on him. They fail to clear the zone. Here's LaFontaine. Dishes one off in front. Empty net for the Rangers again, and Lindy Ruff dumps it on into the Islanders zone. No icing here. Erickson in. Puts it out in front of the net. Couldn't get it to Greshner in time. Here's LaFontaine, and it's all over. The Rangers defeat the Islanders 4-2. And again, it's a come-from-behind night for the New York Rangers after trailing 2-0. As they did the first time the Islanders visited. That would end in a 5-5 tie. And the Islanders take a 2-0 lead tonight. 2-1 at the end of the first.